Do you struggle with the transition from your backswing to the downswing? Here are tips from 5 different Skillest coaches to help you improve your golf swing.
So, big elephant steps back and forth. As soon as I put the pressure in the right, that sends the right hip to the target. Okay, so again, big elephant steps back and forth. Right hip back. Now what I want to be able to do is start that transition with the feeling of the left coming up without me going that way. Okay, so I've gone hip back. I'm going to go up and around. Okay, so it's that trust that by lifting the left up, you're gonna fall that way. It's kind of like a free fall, okay? Here, back up and around.
And what we see with the professional golfer is the maximum amount of pressure that does get shifted to the trail foot happens actually well before the top of the swing. So what you're doing at the moment is you're loading up your back foot, right? And that can simply just be that for a long time your concept was get as far back behind it as you can to try and throw it. But to create force and application of pressure into the ground, that's not how you go about it. The best, most powerful ball strikers, and think about someone like Rory, for example, who has a significant dip and movement down into his golf swing, they actually recenter back towards the target. So as we get to the top here, you should have already made that move back, right? Rather than going that move there.
Before we continue with more tips, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Skillest channel for more golf instruction from the world's best coaches.
Looking for more power? Course you are. Let's power up your downswing together. This is what I want you to do. Section 1 is knees to feet. Knees to hips, section 2, and section 3 is hips to shoulders. I want you to unwind in this sequence. So I've got 2 dots on my knees here. Your first trigger to start down is center those knees back to where they started. From here, section 2 will follow and section 3. So really nice and simple here. Center the knees, allow the hips to follow, allow the chest to follow. This will create a whip through of the golf club. Try it now.
So I want to talk about one main reason I see a lot of players struggling with getting good rotation, primarily out of the lower body in the downswing. And that's that in transition, a lot of people think that they're just trying to straighten that left leg or their lead leg and push the hip back. Well, that does push the hip back. It's not really helping us clear that hip out of the way and getting good rotation. And so in that case, we need to be thinking this lead knee needs to stay flexed and bent a little bit longer as this rotation's happening out of that knee, out of that hip. Keep it flexed a little longer, and then we start to push off the ground, straightening that leg and pushing that lead hip out of the way. Keep it flexed a bit longer, then push off it, and that'll really help us get much more and better rotation in the downswing.
So let's just talk about players using the ground to create some force, to create these ground forces. And that's all well and good, but be careful how much you're maxing this out. And by that I mean I see some players really dropping their pelvis very, very low and really pushing straight down into the ground. Now, you can do that. I don't know how it's going to benefit you in terms of speed because you might not have enough time to get back up. And also you're just really, really going down. You're using this vertical force. Got to have a bit of lateral as well, okay? So what I like players to do is get their alignment stick out, put it against a spot on the ground, put their lead hand in their lead pocket, and just swing this as fast as you could. And you're going to have your drop. You're going to have this pressure go onto the lead side, but then you'll have the lateral and the rotational to match up. So be careful of getting too much lowering of that pelvis, too much squat down. You might not have enough time in the golf swing to benefit from it if you're overdoing it.
Skillest coaches have taught PGA Tour and LPGA Tour players, including Tiger Woods, Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, Kevin Na, Cameron Champ, and Lydia Ko. If you like this video, subscribe to the Skillest channel to learn more from many of the world's best coaches.